Hello, everyone. Okay, this is the third time doing this. So I picked up the new lens from Best Buy. It's 24 to 200 millimeter, all in one lens. And I'm going to zoom in on it, then realize that I got my frappy mocha in the way. You'll see that in a moment. So I'll change the position later. But you see, it's an f4 to 6.3, image stabilized, um, ultra silent motor. So I think that's what it means. And I'm trying to figure out Ecamm Live, the 4.4.1 on sharing. I think I had it on current application instead of the Chrome browser. So you have to make that choice now. Whereas before, you just put up the window and then it'll work fine. But now you have a choice, and I don't know why they did that. But I'm zooming in now. This is Ken Rockwell's website. He did a review of the 24 to 240, and I like that lens. I had it on the R5II, and you can see it does not come with a lens hood, so you have to order the lens hood. Also, if you have a 72 millimeter diameter lens hood, take it off the other lens and put it on there. So anyhow, I didn't use the lens hood today when I was taking pictures. And hopefully, with the internet, I should have the sound come back on. But it's 26.3 ounces. It weighs 747 grams. You can have 1.6 feet to 2.6 feet, or 0.5 or 0.8 millimeters for a close focus. Yeah, it's 1.6 to 2.6 feet. If you're at 24 and then at 240 millimeters. It's $800, but you can get it used for $650. Mr. Rockwell he loves the high punchy colors. He probably has on Vivid. He's showing you some of the stats of how many millimeters he's taken it, when he took it. So he used like a Nikon 77 millimeter circular polarizer 2 on the Canon R5II. And you can see 44 millimeters, 7.1, 1/25th of the shutter speed, auto ISO. And something Vivid. And he used the Skylum Luminar Neo software to do the coloring. But that's with the rainbow, all right? That's not of this picture. And I'm just scrolling down. So I'm showing you his pictures. He's fantastic. And now I'm going to show you mine. Hopefully my sound will come back on and I don't have to redo this whole video. Yes, showing the sample images again. I forget what I said, going back up there. So they did improve the, movement of, the slideshow. I don't see that much stuttering, including the video, and, so that might have been an improvement why they did it. Um, I don't know. Um, I wish they could have done it without picking what if you wanna use current application or the browser or something like that to, view the share window. But, you have to deal with, I think that's ultra silent motor. Um, that's at 240 millimeters with the roof, and you can see where you slow down at 168 millimeters at, um, f10, 1/3 of shutter speed, and he takes great pictures. So he used the R6II on this one, 100 millimeters, 5.6 handheld, 1/25th, auto ISO, 2/3 of minus on the exposure compensation. So you see, he takes some beautiful pictures, and he loves those deep, rich colors. And it's minus 2/3 stops. And I had that on the Canon too. I think it was like a -2 or something like that today. I don't know why. I hit the dial. And now I should be going to mine. So apparently I had the sound off for this also. Unfortunately, I had it on mute on the eCam. But anyway, this is I-35 access road at 24 millimeters. And I'm going to zoom in shortly because I had to change it to current application from the Chrome browser. And there you go. 24. Yep, that's what I'm looking at. And this is at 240 coming up. And there you go. Now that's at 24 millimeters. I got a deer standing up on her hind legs to get the branch off the tree. And that's at 240 millimeters. I only got 2 shots of deer there. Went to the park. So I'm taking a long shot of the I-35, the construction. And then I saw a bird flying, so I thought I'd follow it, look at the focusing. And I think this is like at, I don't know if it's at 240 millimeters. It might have been. There's working on the road finally. And you see, trying to get closer, 240 millimeters. I was trying to focus on that little jungle gym thing, and when I went to 240, you saw a dirty windshield, and I couldn't get it out of focus, so I gave up on that. But this is 24 millimeters. and I was looking at that bird. So that bird is somewhere at 24 millimeters, and I think I'm going to crop it. Yeah. So this is at 24 millimeters. I think it's a little bit to the right, or no, to the right of the cross. Okay. Now I'll go down a little bit right there. Yeah. That's the next picture. That's a little bit sharper right there. So I'm cropping in. So look at the bokeh in the background. It's still a great shot. And the bird is looking away, but it's still sharp. So it identified the bird even if it couldn't see the eyes. Okay. And I think the bird early in the morning was looking for chow. Or a mate, one or the other. And you can see him moving here and there. So I see him cropping in again. Trying to see if I can read that sign. Now this truck just dumped a load for the road repair, and you're going to watch it close. So it's kind of like a net tarp. And then I'm taking pictures of the hospital. And I'm cropping in, trying to see if I can see anybody working. Yeah, there's a person up there. There's another person there. Person down there doing something on a cell phone or something. One person there. Yeah, two people there. There's a guy on his tablet. It's pretty sharp. Then I did the cranes. You see the Leighton construction firm. Leighton Lewis, I guess. That's what they're called. And I'm doing the hospital again. So it was focusing on the cars, not the building. And you have to touch to get it where you want to focus. I guess with my eyes, if I move my eyes to the left or right, it was moving the focus. So that part works, but I couldn't get it back to where I wanted to focus. So I think I had it on vehicles instead of people or animals. So anyhow, but you see, there's some things that are sharp, some aren't. There's the two guys working. Yeah, I see him talking about workers there, worker there. I think that one is on his cell phone. Yeah. And there's a guy up there working on electric wiring. You can't see him. You'll see him in another video. But yeah, I stuck around with the hospital quite a bit. Showing where all the workers are. Focusing in, focusing out. You can see the guy in the white, which I haven't noticed before, to the left. Yeah, he's doing his thing on his tablet. So I went to the neighborhood next to me with all the deer, found a whole bunch of them, going through our gate from this neighborhood to my neighborhood. And there's about 4 or 5 of them together, young ones with their mothers. Yeah, see, they're pretty sharp. Now look at these flowers. Now I was focusing on the deer, okay, but it's pretty sharp. Little bokeh behind the deer. Well, I should say in front of the deer. And this is a cemetery from, I think, 1866, a private cemetery. Engelman, I believe, is the cemetery is called. Now you can't see the headstones because the writing is facing the other way. I went to the Santikos theaters, movie theaters. So this is at 24 millimeters, and I'm cropping in, showing how sharp this lens is. And now this is at 240 millimeters. So it's pretty sharp. We can see the reflection from the sun on the leaves and the flower. And I don't know what I'm talking about because I can't remember. And I'm trying to figure out why it's stuck on that picture. Now, I have noticed that Ecamm Live does freeze now and then. And I don't know why. So I'm going to pause it right here and see what happened. Okay. So there's the theater. And that's at 240 or 240 millimeters. Same thing here, 24. So I'm back on the Lookout Road, Tri-County Road. That's a cell phone tower. Um, that's at 240 millimeters. And the lights do flash, for airplanes flying. And then I went to Evans Road between 935 and Lookout Road. They have cactus right at the end by Evans, or by Lookout Road and Evans. And I'm showing the wildflowers at 24 millimeters. I'm concentrating on that bush, and now that's at 240 millimeters. And trying to get closer shots. So you can see the ones in the front are focus, and just behind it is bokeh. Then I started shooting at the cactus, 24 millimeters, 240, cropping in. Panning a little bit. Yeah, went back to this flower right here. I love this flower. Yeah, cropped right in there. Isn't that gorgeous? Beautiful, isn't it? And I don't know what I'm saying, but I'm admiring the picture quality and the flower, especially the flower. You got to capture the moments. And I'm hoping it's not freezing again. So let me pause it one more. Yeah, okay. I was just talking a lot of stuff, and then I was cropping in on that. So that's a pretty flower also. Now I think I'm going to go to the cactus a little bit. Nope, that's it. So this is in front of the house. It has a problem with vegetation, and it was going to the cars. So you have to use the finger to point. I want to focus on here. I was having problems with the EVF with my eye. So I had to take out the flippy screen to point where I wanted to focus on. Stop sign, 240. For sale sign, 240 millimeters. And now the bench, which you can't see underneath the tree. Yeah, I messed up on the mouse. So I'm going back here, and now you see the bench. And then the bird bath, and that's at 240 millimeters there. I had trouble focusing on that, so I had to use my finger again. It was a reflection of the water that was making it miss. And then the bench again. And that should be the last shot. And I'm cropping in. See, that's pretty sharp at 240 millimeters. Of course, I have the Canon R5II with the 45 megapixel camera to help. And now I'm going to go to the last picture before I end this video. And here you go. So I just want to say thank you for watching. Remember, stay safe, keep smiling, and I'll see you next time. Bye, folks. Have a wonderful day.